it's probably going to be a little bit before someone joins, as it's a little late, but oh well. Anyway, as you can probably read by the title, if you're watching this again, I am going to be going over OC lore. So I'll pull out a character, put him in front of the screen, and then I'll just kind of talk about said character. I might put him or her on a pedestal, kind of like that, to just kind of talk about the character. So yeah, I'll just wait for some other people to get in. If anything, I can make the pedestal thing look nicer. I might put my TWR boxes behind it. So yeah. Hello, Tank Engine Media. Since you're just joining, and you can probably read by the title, I will be going over OC lore for all my OCs. Now it'll be pretty simple because right now I'm just kind of trying to set up. Yes, time for OC lore. Right now I'm just trying to set up kind of a background just so you guys don't look at all of that while I'm kind of talking about them. But what I figured I was gonna do is I was gonna set up this once I have it done, and then put a engine or rolling stock on the pedestal kind of thing here, and then just kind of talk about the character, talk about their past, and all of that. So right now I'm just gonna put my new TWR boxes behind it, just because I think it looks nice. So yeah. Once I get this set up and maybe one or two more people join, depending on if people are coming in, I will start. So just kind of make sure this stays up, it doesn't fall over. And that's probably gonna fall. Okay, never mind. I'll just put these back. It's not gonna stay up, so I'll just put these boxes back. Yeah, anyway, before I start on the OC lore, how you doing tonight? I know it's a little late, well, depending on where you are, but figured I'd just stream because I was bored, and I don't really have any more customs to do. I finished another one earlier today, so that's fun. Yeah, that's good. Good to hear. Alright. Well, might as well get started. So this is for all the people who watch this stream back. This isn't set in concrete for lore. Some things may be different as time goes on, but I can pretty much give you guys a basic idea of what everything is. So yeah, let's get started. Now, first character is Devin. One of my first slow customs, actually. Not my first OC, but Devin is just a simple box van. Don't know when he was built. He's kind of a laid-back box van or whatever. He doesn't like to do a lot of work, but he'll still do it because he has to. Otherwise, pretty simple. He's been on the island for quite a while, actually, and he's seen a lot of these sites on the island, so he doesn't really get around too much anymore because he has seen everything. But now he just resides as a dockside delivery van. So, pretty simple with Devin. Now, I do have one that is that I did today, which I'll show off last. So, yeah. Anyway, next we got... we'll move on to my two pieces of rolling stock now. One of them is Lombard. Now, Lombard is a brake tender who came to the island as a rental for, I believe, Edward's branch line. Yeah, he came to the island as a rental for Edward's branch line because when Edward would ever go for repairs, Boca would need some extra help with braking because most of the trucks down by the harbor and docks area were actually really worn, and they didn't really work too well when it came to brakes. So Sir Topham Hatt rented out a brake tender, which is called Lombard Tender Rental. Hello, winner. We're just going over OC lore of all my OCs. So, yeah. Anyway, Sir Topham Hatt ordered Lombard from Lombard Tender Rental. It's a mainland company that's been around for a while, actually. But anyway, that's where Lombard gets his name. He's kind of a cheeky guy. He doesn't really like to do much work, but it's pretty much the same case with Devin. He'll do it because he has to. But he doesn't always enjoy it. So yeah, anyway, that is Lombard. I actually got the name Lombard from a book, so I thought that was kind of cool. I saw the name Lombard and I just thought, like, that would be a good OC name. Anyway, next one. Now we have one of my oldest OCs. This OC, oh, he has glue stuck to him. Hold on. I don't know how that got there. How did he get glue on him? Anyway, this OC is named Thuggy. Now, Thuggy is the oldest OC that I have. Second place would go to Afton, which isn't canon anymore. Anyway, I came up with Thuggy in, I believe, 2019, so he's like a 5-year-old OC. But I just wanted to create an OC for myself, and I had fun doing it, and the name Thuggy kind of just stuck with it. So even though he's labeled as Frank, his real name is Thuggy. Anyway, Thuggy is just a simple, troublesome truck. He was a major part in the war, actually. He was one of the main express trucks used for ammunition, supplies, and soldiers for World War II. So, yeah. What? Oh, that song. Yeah. Welcome, by the way. Anyway, so Thuggy was involved in the war as a key express truck where he actually lost his eye. Now, after he had lost it, he was given the metal eye patch as a replacement eye, and it was intended to come off, but he kind of liked how it looked, and he thought it would be kind of cool. So they kept the metal eye patch going across his eye just like that. Sometime later, after the war, he was purchased by Frank Cargo & Co. It's a company that is based in Brendam Docks, and it's an exclusive privately owned company. So you won't see Thuggy going around too much on like the main line or whatnot, but you'll see him go on the main line every once in a while. So yeah, after he was purchased, he was basically just a docks truck. So that's where he mostly resides now. So yeah, that's Thuggy. Honestly, one of my favorite OCs. Don't know what I could do without Thuggy. Anyway, I'll just make space because I kind of have to move stuff to get all of these guys on the table. So anyway, next OC, we'll do Thane. If I can get him off. Okay. This next OC is Thane. Excuse me. He's already been introduced into my series as a... Excuse me. Anyway, he's been introduced as a sort of temporary replacement for Daisy on the Fargwarp branch. Now, Thane was built early 19th century when they were experimenting on all of that. And he was originally a part of a privately owned heritage railway when he was sold off of BR, or off to British Rail, to basically make some more money for the heritage railway. He didn't survive there long, just because British Rail really didn't have use for a steam motor coach, so he was later subjected to scrap. But then I believe in like 1950, he was found by a privately owned museum owner or a private collector in a scrapyard. So once that private collector purchased Thane from the scrapyard, he was fixed up and put in a collection for the remaining few years until my series. Well, before he was introduced into my series, he was actually in the process of being donated to the National Railway Museum. But the only reason that he wasn't was because the collector thought that Soder would be a better option for Thane to actually run again. So yeah, Thane is just he has a really kind soul, but he's kind of lazy at times. It's a Dennis situation, just a little lighter. Anyway, otherwise he's a good dude, good engine. He does his work. So yeah, that will be Thane. Hello, Black Valley Studios. Welcome to the stream. If you could probably read by the title, I am just going over OC lore. It's not going to be 100% accurate. Things might change, but yeah. Anyway. Yeah, Thane is just living life. So yeah. Yep. Anyway, if you're just getting here, you've missed, yeah, that doesn't surprise me, everything, or Thurn. Anyway, if you're just getting here, you've missed 4 OCs, but they've been quite short ones. They don't have a lot of lore to them. So yeah. Anyway, next one. This one is kind of a 2-part one. Anyway, I'll go over this one first because it's the first on my lineup, so yeah. Okay, well, he's a bit long, but this is Bear. Bear is the first considered Garrett locomotive in the world. He was built in 1900 something, I think 1909. Yeah, I think he was. Either way, Bear is supposed to be the actual K1 that's based in or based on the Festiniog Railway at the moment. So I just decided to make Bear because I was bored. Anyway, lore for Bear is he was built alongside his brother Trojan, which I'll get out here because it's pretty much the same story for each of them, except Trojan was donated to a different place. Anyway, I'll move Bear off of the pedestal for the moment. So anyway, Bear and Trojan were built in 1909 by Bear and Peacock Co., and then they were shipped down to, I believe, Tasmania. Yep. They were shipped down to Tasmania to run a, I believe, tramway. And then after a few years, I believe in 1930, they were sold off to a flour mill in some northern part of the railway. And then it's a little shaky on the history because I'm trying to go off the actual history of the K1 classes. So I can't remember off the top of my head in the article and site that I used. It's a little dotty when it comes up to present day, but anyway, let's say 1955, after being left in a shed because the flour mill had no use for them anymore, Trojan was actually sold off to the National Railway Museum, where they repaired him and fixed him up. And if you don't know, Trojan is the red one. So Trojan, at the moment, is now staying at the National Railway Museum in York, where he resides most of his days. He only pulls trains if it's a special occasion at the museum. So yeah. Anyway, after Trojan, it goes to the museum. K1 or Bear, I keep saying K1. Bear is was, I believe, sold or donated to the Festiniog Railway, where he now resides now. So yeah, pretty simple. I'm trying to go off the actual basis is journeys, so... And actually, K2, or the real-life Trojan that I based him off of, is not currently known where it is. So that's kind of fun. Bit of a mystery engine Trojan is. Anyway, those are supposed to be the actual real-life engines. So I thought that'd just be kind of fun. Anyway, I'll get the pedestal back. Next, we have Oscar. Now, Oscar is a British Rail Leader class. Now, if you don't know what the Leader class is, it's a experimental locomotive that was meant to basically be an articulated steam engine, like a Garrett and like a Big Boy engine. But the main features of it was that it looked like a diesel engine. Anyway, so since there was only pretty much one of the Leader class, I think, Oscar was a really experimental engine when he was first built by BR. He worked a few years in service. He did quite a lot of work, actually. And for what he's worth, his design worked really well, but there were still many, many flaws, like the weight distribution on both of his sides and whatnot. So after he was taken out of service, BR decided to try and fix his design. So after many, many years of tweaking and fixing and upgrading, they just couldn't come up with a good design. So when they decided to just put him back together as he was, unfortunately, one night at the work shed that he was being repaired at, on that night, a fire broke out because a careless workman had accidentally left the wheel forge on. So once that caught ablaze, it ended up lighting the entire walls and roof on fire, which knocked down Oscar's boiler. And since Oscar was an experimental engine and BR was kind of at the end of their funding with him, with his permission, they pretty much rebuilt him without a boiler. So technically, Oscar is a static engine from that moment on. It was very unfortunate that the fire broke out, but it's what happened. But after that incident, BR decided to just give him to the National Railway Museum, where he now currently resides, painted in the BR blue and yellow livery. So yeah, a lot of these unique engines actually went to the National Railway Museum just because I wanted them to. So yeah, anyway, so that's the tragic tale of Oscar. Oscar is a fun engine. He has somewhat of a sense of humor, but he also really does beat himself up out over his design, how he wasn't able to overcome what he was meant to do, and he just kept beating himself up because he wasn't a good working engine. But he is able to get through it with the help of Trojan, actually. I also forgot to give Trojan's personality, same with Bear. Bear, just so you know, I'm not going to pull him out on this one. Bear is a sensible, logical, and better version of Trojan. Bear basically has the personality of the wise Edward. Anyway, Trojan is a rambunctious engine. He's kind of egotistic and takes a lot of pride in not being the first Garrett, but being the second. But he does envy his brother a little bit because he wasn't the first Garrett locomotive. Otherwise, he does have his kind sides, and he was actually placed next to Oscar when he was donated or purchased by the National Railway Museum. So Trojan had actually helped Oscar through a lot of his self-doubts and a lot of his trauma, you could say. I don't want to say trauma because it's not really, but that's the best I can think of. Yeah, anyway. Next one. Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. Well, Trojan's a little more. He doesn't have a lot of the remorse of that Thomas usually has. He does have remorse, just not a lot of it. Anyway. Hello, Puffy. Welcome to the stream. Just going over OC lore. Anyway, this next OC is pretty simple. His name is Lucius. Now, Lucius is based off of the German glass box locomotive, otherwise known as a very long name of letters and numbers that I don't remember. Anyway, he was built along with his brothers and sisters during the war, and before it had started, before World War II had started, what's that? It's just a bunch of my stuff for filming tools and just extra parts. Anyway, so before World War II broke out, Lucius was a mixed traffic engine. He was more of a goods engine on the branch line that he worked on, but unfortunately, when he was trying to back out of a station with a goods train, he had collided with a oncoming express engine that had pretty much totaled Lucius. So the years after he was about to be fixed, World War II broke out. And when that had happened, his rebuilding process had to be put on hold because of the war. But towards the end of it, I think, let's say 1944. 1944, while the war was still going on, Lucius was almost completed. He still had to have another wheel placed on, and he still had a lot of things that needed to be added and fixed, but otherwise he was in somewhat working order. Anyway, one day, Lucius was actually called upon because a village still kind of thinking this over. The name of the engine in front of the camera is Lucius. He's a German glass box locomotive. Anyway. God, I lost train of thought. Train of thought. Anyway. Yeah. Lucius was called upon because a village or a small town up in like a hillier part of his branch line was being bombed by other enemy forces during World War II. So with determination and him volunteering and whatnot, he was able to get up to the village or town thing and save the people with a few coaches on 3 wheels. Yeah. Anyway, so once he had gotten back down, he was actually given the number 27 to commemorate the amount of people that he saved from the bombing. But after World War II had ended, he was put away in storage as to keep him out of public backlash because of the war just had ended. Yes, he was very proud of himself for it, and he was commemorated by a lot of people. He almost got bombed himself trying to escape, but thankfully, since he was black, or he was painted black, he was able to escape through the darkness. Yeah. He ends up having an okay story at the end. But after the war, he was put away out of public eyesight to avoid backlash and overall scrap, because a lot of the people wanted him scrapped because he was a German engine. But anyway, a few years after, in like 1955, he was brought out again and completely fixed. And now he runs his small little branch line in the German hills today, forever just pulling trains and just enjoying the scenery on his branch line. But unfortunately, forgot to mention this, since it was the war, almost every single member of his class was destroyed by either bombs or they were just scrapped entirely. So yeah. Yes, I think so too. Welcome, by the way, Percy James. So that would make Lucius the only surviving member of his class left. But he doesn't mind it. He says it makes him unique. Anyway, Lucius is a strictly German-speaking engine. Doesn't speak a word of English, so he does actually go to a few events at the National Railway Museum if he wants and if his controller agrees. So yeah. Otherwise, he's a very fun engine. He likes to joke and just kind of bring up a lot of the past. Even though it is rocky and kind of dark, he finds he's very optimistic for what he's been through. So, yeah. Anyway, that would be Lucius. I thought that would be a little bit shorter, but I guess not. Anyway, we'll do another one. We'll do Wadsworth. All right. He did not speak Brazilian. Strictly German, not a word of any other language. But he does try to learn at times he can. So, anyway. Here we have Wadsworth. I'll see if I can get him onto the pedestal. Wadsworth is the 5th engine to the Wellsworth and Sudbury Railway. I do have a Mighty Mac, and I am getting another Fairley locomotive sometime soon. Anyway, with Wadsworth. Wadsworth is based off of the GT3 turbine locomotive, only one of its class, and he was built by BR just as a experimental engine, so that didn't really go over too well. So BR decided to sell Wadsworth to the Northwestern, but since the Northwestern didn't really have a use for the turbine engine that he is, the Wellsworth and Sudbury Railway decided to take him in as the 5th engine to their railway. And the Wellsworth and Sudbury Railway is still canon in my series, even though it was kind of shut down in the railway series. Anyway, so not much to Wadsworth. He takes a lot of pride in his name because I believe his first driver's name was Wadsworth. So for him to have the name Wadsworth, he takes a lot of pride in it, and he really enjoys it. And Wadsworth is supposed to be a play on words of Wadsworth, Wads with a D, and Watts like electrical watts. So yeah, I thought that'd be kind of funny. Anyway, so since he's the turbine in one of his class, he's actually very popular for the enthusiasts that come to the railway. And sometimes he will go to the National Railway Museum on events with the Northwestern. And a little hinty hint for my future project, he will be coming to the National Railway Museum for the reason of an event. So anyway, I won't talk too much more. But just a little personality about Wadsworth. There's not much to him. He's very, very nice, very prideful in his work that he does. He doesn't take shit from no one, and if he's wrong, then he'll own up to it, but if you're wrong, he'll hold you to it forever. Oh, that's fine, Black Valley. This is just kind of, this is like a show and tell. So, yeah. Stanley, I do not have the narrow gauge Stanley, but I do plan to make him in the future. Anyway. So yeah, that's Wadsworth. Pretty kind engine, doesn't take shit from no one, and all that. So yeah. And I think he'll be the last Wellsworth and Suttery engine, just because I don't really need any more besides the 5. So, yeah. Anyway. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, he's actually kind of big. He's a lot taller than what I expected him, but he looks nice. Anyway, here's the mod Diesel. I don't really know if I should consider this an original character, but it's just basically meant to be that MOD or... actually, maybe. Actually, yes, I do. I do have a rude character. Anyway, and you can consider Mod a little rude, but anyway, Mod is supposed to be the Ministry of Defense Diesel that was only mentioned in the Railway series. I don't know with what book or whatever, but yeah, he's meant to be the Ministry of Defense engine. Otherwise, he's kind of a rude bastard, and he's kind of mean at times, but he has his kind moments. It just depends on the engine that he's with, so yeah. Not much to it. You'll see him around the railway a little bit, because the Ministry of Defense they kind of like to poke around on the railway, so... Otherwise, not too much is actually known about the Mod Diesel. He's quite secretive with what he does, but I suppose he has to be. Anyway, so that's the Mod Diesel. Next we have Maybelle. Now, Maybelle is one of my smallest engines. She was originally much bigger, but I decided to shorten her down because I felt like it. Anyway, so Maybelle is a 100% freelance experimental locomotive that runs on fuel. So she's not 100% steam because she does take a lot of her power from her side generator. Yeah, small little girl, so yeah. Anyway, she was built in 1950 to work as a works engine around the Wickman work. By the way, Wickman Works is the substitute to the Soder Steamworks. So, yeah. Yes. She's very small locomotive, but anyway. So she was meant to work at Wickman's Works as just a little shunter. She's the substitute to Victor in my series. Victor's still canon, but I haven't really decided what I want to do with Victor. Anyway, so after she was built, she was just kind of sent there, and she spent a lot of time. Okay, well, I don't know. I'd like to say she's standard gauge, but I also like to think that she can transition gauges. So maybe she can transition to narrow gauge, but otherwise it's a standard gauge. She's a standard gauge engine all the way. Or not all the way, but yeah. If I had to pick one, I'd rather her be a standard gauge engine. But I might incorporate that she can change gauges. I feel like that'd be a fun concept. So yeah. Anyway, she doesn't get out a lot of besides just the yard at Wickman's. So she's kind of secluded and dumb in her geography, but she's also really sweet. She's like she's the better version of Philip in my person and thing. Yeah. Yes, Cranky in the background, he stares at me all the time. I swear, he moves. Like, I'll have him like this, but ever so slightly, he'll move towards me and looking towards my bed. It's so fucking scary. Yeah, anyway, not much to Maybell. I originally came up with her as a villain in my series, but I kind of went against it in favor for Alfred and another engine, so yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that is Maybell, one of my smallest little girls, but one of my proudest. I really like her. So yeah, next one. This next one is one that's not very, well, I mean, Philip's okay. I like the concept of him, but I mean, I just don't like his basis. I don't like how he looks. Yes, Maybell is friend-shaped. But she can be very bossy sometimes, and she gets very protective over her work at Wickman's, so yeah. My next custom, or next OC, is kind of a weird one. He's not too known, and he's not all there, per chance, but he's an okay engine. Oh, the hell? You guys see that? I'm probably going insane. But this is Chanson. Now Chanson is a very mysterious locomotive. He's a very mysterious engine. He doesn't appear very often. No one knows when he was built. Who knows? He may or may not. But Chanson is built by a man... who knows? Chanson is built by a man named Duncan R. Helson. He was very cynical and madman, but he did know how to do his things. So, yeah. Anyway, so Chanson is a very mysterious engine. Not much is known. I've probably said that a few times. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Who knows? Sorry about that. I had to take a bit of medicine. Yeah. Anyway. Like I said, not much is known about Chanson, other than he almost never appears. So yeah, that is Chanson. In all seriousness, he's kind of like a ghost thing, so who knows? I don't even know what his lore is. Oh man, we only got 3 more left. Yeah, anyway. Next one. Now we got one of my largest OCs. This one I'm going to have to get rid of the pedestal. This one is Sigmund. Now Sigmund... Yes. Sigmund is based off of the designs of C.G. Strasser for a giant one-wheeled locomotive. Who knows? I have no clue. They could be all around us. They could not be. I have no clue. Anyway, next thing. Sigmund is based off of the designs by C.G. Strasser in around 1990s. Yeah, he's a big guy. He's meant to be the brother of Klaus, which is an OC created by Speedy Skip. I'm gonna put this out here before you guys hate on me. I don't give a shit. Sorry. I also don't really give a shit, but I don't agree with what he did and all that. I just wanted to make Klaus because I made Klaus. So yeah, here is Klaus, owned by Speedy Skip. At least the character part. Sigmund is meant to be the older brother of Klaus. As Sigmund was originally built for express, like, hierarchy very important People Express engine. He was nicknamed the Blue Angel because that was pretty much his purpose. He's meant to be a very important engine carrying like world leaders, like presidents, queens, emperors, dictators, and all that. Unfortunately, he never got that far because when he was on trial and experiments thing, his giant wheel would unfortunately crack underneath the weight of the counterweight and the overall size of the wheel. So after he was taken out of service, he was planned to be scrapped in the year 2000, along with his brother Klaus, who was built for. I'm given Klaus lore because Skips hasn't. So anyway, sorry, clicked onto an extra truck. Klaus was built for freight services. He had pretty much the same problem as Sigmund. Either way, they were both put away in a shed to be scrapped because it was just too much work to maintain them. But like year or two later after they were put in scrap, so around 2002, a bunch of enthusiasts and collectors from the National Railway Museum were taking a tour around the railway and the works that they were built in, and they were purchased and then basically fixed up, and now because they're kind of fragile, only Klaus can move under his own steam because he was built more heavily duty for stuff. Sigmund isn't static, but he's not really run because he's a very fragile engine with his giant wheel. But anyway, Klaus and Sigmund now reside at the National Railway Museum. Yeah, well, Klaus, because of his more sturdy, big design, I'm giving him lore. Said that once, I probably did. Anyway, but I like to think that Klaus was a Freight Express engine. So, yes, I think they turned out very nice, especially Klaus. Very proud of how he turned out. So, yeah, anyway. Sigmund is a kind of bossy engine, but he knows how to correct himself in his bossiness, and he likes to gloat a lot too, but he knows how to limit himself. He's the better version of Gordon when it comes to just gloating and overall showing off. So otherwise he is very kind, or he's very caring in a sense for his brother and all that, and all his friends at the National Railway Museum. So yeah, that will be Sigmund. Now we got two more. One of them hasn't been revealed yet, but I'll reveal it on stream because why not? I have showed this one off before, and I probably added a bunch of lore in his debut custom. And this is Isle of Sodor, one of two remaining P2 class locomotives. I am very proud of this guy. But yeah. Isle of Sodor is based off of the LNER P2 locomotive, designed by Nigel Gresley himself. So, lore with this guy, he was part of the original batch of six, but since I consider Prince of Wales and Isle of Sodor canon to being built with the rest of the batch, they were originally 8 built instead of 6. So yeah. Anyway, after they were built and they had a bunch of trials, Isle of Sodor, at the time, he was named Lord Nigel, after Nigel Gresley. Lord Nigel was a very powerful version of the P2. He had been upgraded a lot since the original 7 or 8, and he overall did a lot better than the rest of his brothers and sisters did. So, yeah. In like 1940s, 1938, during the war, he was used as a express troop transportation engine for a bunch of the British troops that were needed to be transported around and everywhere. So yeah. Anyway, during the war, he had actually, I think, gotten shot. I can't remember what I said in his slow customs. Either shot or into an accident where he got wounded on his face. But after he had got wounded, he told the workmen just to put a metal plate over it to basically just get through the war and all that. So that is kind of like a permanent bandage or a scar of the war. So yeah. After that, the rest of the P2s were unfortunately scrapped, except for Prince of Wales and him. Prince of Wales was sent to Wales to be just an engine there as a preservation engine, and Lord Nigel was given to the Gresley family as a gift from the LNER. But after a few years of keeping Lord Nigel in a shed, the Gresley family wasn't able to support a giant P2 engine, so they decided to donate him and gift him to the Northwestern Railway as just a not really just as, they did it to save him from scrap. Anyway, once he came to the Northwestern, he was renamed to Isle of Sodor and made the poster engine of the railway. So he's a main representative of the island, as he was painted in the Sodor flag colors with the orange and blue, which I think looks really nice on him. And he was given a extra water tender to do long excursions across the mainland when he would visit the National Railway Museum for events. He would also go almost every year to represent the island. So, yeah. Anyway. Isle of Sodor is a very reasonable engine. He's logical, and he's kind of kind, but he's also not Thomas or kind. So he'll make friends and all that, but he also won't do favors without getting something in return. But overall, he's a very helpful engine, and he actually takes up the Wild Northwestern express train from Island End to Tidmouth or whatever's on the other end. So yeah. Otherwise, I don't know where he resides. I think I'm going to have him stay at the Vicarstown Railway Museum, which will actually play a key part in that special that I was talking about. So yeah. Anyway, I am very proud of how Isle of Sodor came out, because I just really like the P2 locomotives. They were very sleek and very handsome engines. So yeah. Anyway, that'll be Isle of Sodor. It's a very long engine with the extra tender, but I like him. Yeah, I thought so too. Anyway, the last custom is a unique one. As it, like I said before, hasn't been introduced yet, and it's not a locomotive based on anything. Yeah. This is... I don't even know what I'm gonna name this dude. Girl. I don't... Alright, well, here we go. This is a National Coal Board engine. It is a Freelance 020 locomotive with a tender. Now, I don't know what to name her, so I'll tell you a little bit about her personality and what she does a lot, and then you guys can give me a name that would fit it. So, Nelson. Well, it's a she, so I want a girl name, but anyway, I'll get to the personality thing. This engine was Just like I said before, freelance designed in 1920 by engineer, Natalie. That's a good name. I think I'll go with Natalie. Anyway, she was built in 1920 as a just experimental engine when she was given to the National Coal Board as a inspection engine of sorts. So, yeah. Hello, PJ Films. Or PJL Films. Anyway, she was given to the National Coal Board as a inspection engine. So, every once or twice a year, she comes to the island to inspect all the coal sources for the railway, and basically does what the National Coal Board did. She's a very, very rude engine. She doesn't really like to talk to a lot of engines, mostly out of fear because she is a very unique locomotive with only 2 wheels. But otherwise, she's very rude, and she's really just not a good engine. She does her job, but she despises it. But she's also kind of grateful because it gives her a place to stay and gives her something to do every day instead of rusting in a scrapyard because of her failed design. So yeah, not much else. And going off the names, I think I'm gonna go with Natalie by Whifster. Fits the name, and I actually have another character that kind of has same sort of personality as her in my book. So yeah. Funny thing is, she was actually made out of a 2000. No, she was made out of 2019 Wood Emily. So that's fun. Yeah, anyway. I'll do a video on her in like 2 days or something. I wanted to get another Slow Customs out, but I had just gotten my wisdom teeth out, I think 2 days ago. Yeah, whatever Friday was. I had gotten my wisdom teeth out, and I felt like absolute shit. So I couldn't really get a video out. So, and with that Ask Adams, though, I had that pre-recorded. And with that last water tender one for Isle of Sodor, I could do that real quick, but I couldn't do a full video on a engine, so that's fun. I'm recovering, though, so that's nice. Yeah, anyway, I'll just kind of show her off a little bit. I won't go into depth what I made her out of and how I did it, just because I want to save that for the video. But otherwise, completely freelance engine. I actually based the livery off of another coal board engine. It was a 060 non-extended side tank engine. It wasn't like a E2, but I don't know. It was based off of another livery. So I decided to apply that to Natalie. So I think it looks nice for what it's worth. She won't appear too much. I might have an episode where she's in it, just not centered around it. So yeah. Otherwise, that will be my final OC. That's canon, actually. Toots. Engine park injectors. Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen that. Porky. Looney Tunes, I guess? I'm guessing? Because that's the only thing that's ringing my name when it comes to Porky. Porky Pig. Yeah, anyway. I can name off OCs that aren't canon anymore, if you guys want. Because I have, like, a few. Not too many, though. Yeah, more OCs. Or for the Looney Tunes. That's probably for the Looney Tunes. But yeah, what do you guys think? Should I do my other OCs? They're pretty old. Well, one of them is a little older than Thuggy, but Thuggy is the oldest OC that I have. Oh no! Damn, I knocked Trojan over. Damn. My friends are texting me. I'll get to you guys in a minute, jeez. Yeah, I have... Oh, shit. I have a group chat that I'm in, and they won't. And it's actually being used, which is kind of surprising because the group chat hasn't been used for a while. So yeah. Let me just get all my OCs put back because I have like a dedicated shelving thing for them. So yeah, I'll just get them back on the thing here. To answer the God question, I think I'll have at least 4 or 5 canonical gods. Who knows? That may change. If it does, you guys will probably not know about it until too late. Until they destroy us all and leave us for dead. No, I do plan to do a video based off of that kind of concept. Ah, damn, my teeth. Ah! Damn. Ah, thank God I took that medicine. Alright, I did. No, Cranky's just Cranky. That's just where I store Cranky when I don't have him on a set. So, yeah. Ah, damn. Ah, my teeth hurt. Ah! Ah, I'm dying. Ah! No, I'm not. It's just, my wisdom teeth hurt. Well, I don't have my teeth anymore, but still. It hurts. It hurts a lot. I probably do a very good Henry impression. Anyway. I am actually very proud of these OCs. I really like them, and I just find it kind of funny. Especially Maybelle. Maybelle is my girl. Oh, shit. Actually, I do have another OC. I completely forgot about her. Give me a moment. Now this OC was just made for the purpose of making her. No lore, no significance to the series except a cameo, but I still made her. So I'll grab her here. And I gotta grab another one, which I don't know where it went. I'll find it later. I'll put Natalie back. Oh, is her buffer dried? Oh, okay, good. Not buffer, but magnet. I made a artificial magnet because the magnet cap that I had didn't really want to cut very well, so it didn't really work. Yeah, anyway. Damn. I'll grab them here so I don't have to get up again later, but I have one that's old, and then one that's just made for the purpose of making it. Where's that other one? I had at least one more OC that I have no clue where it went. I think it's on my shelf with my other stuff. Nope. Where did I put him? I couldn't have thrown him. Why would I? Oh, did I take his wheels? Oh no. No! I swore he would survive. Did I take his wheels off? No, I think I did. Damn, I wanted him to survive a lot longer. Okay, well, I have another scrapped OC. Damn. Okay, well, I'll do these two. Next one, technically, that doesn't have any significance, is Darla. Now, Darla is based off of the Southern Pacific Daylight locomotive. Not much lore to her, just because I just made her to make her. She was originally a... yes. Yeah, I don't remember what I used his wheels for. It must have been another bogie engine, though. I don't remember which one, though. Oh, actually, no, I used them for Blister 1 and Blister 2. That's right, I did. Okay, yep. Anyway, yeah, Darla is just the Southern Pacific Daylight locomotive. I'm only going to have her appear in the special that I'm making, and then probably never appear again. So yeah. I don't really consider her an original character, because it's not really an original character, but it's the same thing with, like, the Flying Buffer Beam and Novelty. Like, they were realistic locomotives, but they're not really OCs. But this one is more just random. The tender is custom built by another engine boiler, so that's fun. She uses a Victor face. Go watch the video on her. So, yeah. Just made that strictly for making it. Now we have one of my oldest, Afton. Afton is one of my first, and actually, he's my first engine OC. He was created back in 2017, 18, by a very young me that didn't know what I wanted. But yeah. Afton is a experimental engine that was painted orange because I liked orange with black hazard stripes. And yeah, I named him after William Afton from Five Nights at Freddy's. You guys can cringe, but I thought it was a cool name, and I don't really feel like changing it now. So yeah, I don't know if I'll have Afton appear again, just because like he's been gone for so long. Like I know he was in my original series, but I don't know if I'll have him appear in my new series. So, yeah. I don't know. I thought about getting rid of Afton, but I just couldn't do it. I get a certain feeling when I look at this dude. Like, he's not there. Like, I had messed him up a while back trying to seal him in a primer, which worked, but it completely ruined his eyebrows with the Sharpie. So... yeah, I thought about doing that. I don't want to get rid of the original because it was the original, but I do plan to redo the character in another paint scheme and another lore thing. So, yeah, but I'm not going to get rid of the original. I just can't bring myself to do it. It's the same thing with my Thomas. Like, I've come around to destroying this thing in a while. Sure, I took the face off and made him faceless, but I still have the original model, which I won't destroy because that was one of my first Thomases. Like I won't destroy the Annie and Clarabelle that I have, even if I replace them. It's more sentimental with that. So yeah. The back notch here, that's actually a failed experiment to try and make him a electric engine. I tried to give him a car that was permanently attached. It's like a cool, unique thing, but I gave up on it. So, I think I used super glue, that's why I couldn't get it off. Oh yeah, I did. I used super glue to get the string on, so... yeah. He's quite nice, though. He's got Northwestern. He's painted 26. I don't know why he had him 26. But yeah. I don't know. He was just kind of a special guy. Ah, oh, goddamn. Teeth still hurt. I don't know why I shouldn't anymore, but... well, I probably should, because it's only been like 3 days. Anyway, I'll leave you guys with Afton while I put this away. So yeah. That will be my original character lore. Like I said, not 100% accurate and official. But that's just kind of what you're looking at. So yeah. I do plan to include most of them in that special I was talking about with the National Railway Museum. I think I've said it before, but it will be based in a event held by the National Railway Museum where a bunch of the engines from the island and a bunch of unique engines go to the museum and go for the event. So yeah, that's the only real way I can incorporate them until after the special. So yeah, I do plan to do an episode with Trojan and Bear. So yeah. Anyway, I don't really have too much to talk about, and my mouth kind of hurts because of my wisdom teeth. So I think I'm gonna end it here. So I'll end it with a stack of hours or stack of minutes because I've got 64. So yeah, I appreciate you guys being here, listening to my rambling on and showing of the customs. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here. So see you guys later. Good morning, good evening, or no, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. There it is. See you guys later.